Blessings, my people. I here to show you my hydroponic system that I built. I'll do this video explaining the setup, and then after that, I'll do another video talking about some minor setbacks I've been facing, but all normal in this game. So, as you can see, I have some bok choy here growing right now, and they're coming up nice. So basically what I did, I got these gutters. I got a few rain gutters. Shout out to Joe at Root Farms one time. And as you can see, I actually got them with these holes. So some holes was drilled into it. And I had some wood. So I used the wood as like a stand so that so the gutters could stand on. Now, for a hydroponic, you need like the gutters to plant the plants in. You also need a reservoir so it could hold the water. And then you need a pump and, some way for it to circulate. So I went and I got this hose, which is really drip irrigation hose. And I got the necessary fittings like the elbows, the turn off, and everything else I needed. So basically how it's set up, inside this tank has the pump. You could see the cord for the pump and the hose that comes out to pump the water up into the system. So the water pumps up in through here, flows down through this, and then I had this piece of 4-inch pipe lying around that was cut open like this, so it has like a hole that the water just falls into. So I did it like that so it doesn't like fall down like a waterfall. But yeah, anyways, other than the gutters, like I said, I got the wood, I got the hose and the fittings. And then I took this 4-inch pipe. I got the necessary fittings for it too, a cap, a downspout, so that the water can circulate. So it goes up through the pump, comes down through the system, and then flows back down, and it's circulating. So it's on constantly. It doesn't turn off. And yeah, the most I have to do is come give it nutrient water, maybe top it up every few days. And yeah, plants are growing nice and healthy. Oh, of course, can't forget, I put this shade cloth as well to cover the reservoir so that it doesn't get too hot, because the sun will beat on the plants and beat on the system and heat up the water and cause the plants to get heat stressed, So I put this so that once the water falls in, this remains cool, so that this and everything doesn't heat up and then cause problems. So far they've been doing well. They've been growing up nicely. I actually planted out more. Right now I have about 11, but I planted about 30 because right now the system can hold 34 plants. So it has 34 sites. However, I can expand it by adding more gutters on each side. I could get more sites. Additionally, one thing I'll say is I might put some shade cloth because there is this guava tree that I said would provide shade. However, the sun was still a little too strong for them when they were just starting. So some of them did die off. But God bless, as you can see, they are flourishing, the ones that did remain. One thing I have to mention as well is I germinated the seeds in a seed tray. So I didn't put them in this to germinate. I put them in a seed tray in these cubes. So, example. So I use these cubes. Rightfully, I like the Rockwool cubes, but this is like cocoa pellets. And yeah, so I put them in those pellets, the seeds, and once they sprouted and started to send out roots out of the bottom of the pellet, then I transplanted them into the system. One reason as well why the plants that was in this row didn't make it and this row is because if you could see, it actually isn't really touching the bottom as opposed to these are more touching on the bottom, so the water is like more in the net pot. So because of that, like in these other ones, you could see like it's not touching, it passing. So although the plants that was planted in there had some, small roots, with the heat of the sun, they weren't able to make it. The heat stress on them was too much that even though their roots maybe was like just slightly touching into the water solution, they didn't make it. Yeah. Other than that though, that's my hydroponic system, small scale. I also have plans to add a few other ones around the house, but for right now, that's the start. God bless. Have a blessed one.